Right, hello everybody. This is a bit of a change. This is something that we sometimes do or have done in the past over Christmas. It's a little bit different this year. The other half's working. I have to stop at 7:30, go and pick her up. We normally do this for a few hours each evening, but things have changed a little bit this year. The server will still be up, and if anyone wants to join in, you're more than welcome. As there's only me on, and there may only actually be me on, I thought what I would do is go through some of the World War II planes and show you how to fly them. Now, as usual, a little bit unprepared, and there's probably no one else going to come on, so I'll wait a little bit before I start. Just cleaning my glasses, just going to have a cup of tea, and we'll see how it goes. I'll start off going through how to start up and take off and fire weapons with the P-51, which is one of the free planes you get, although you get the trainer version without the weapons. Anyway, did that work? Then whoever said hello? Oh, it was me. Say test, and I've thrown that tissue away when I shouldn't have done. Right, there we go. That's working. That's working. Everything's working. Excellent. See where we are. Okay, that's not too bad. We'll be taking off that end. So if anyone wants to join in, you're more than welcome. I'm not sure who's on at this point in time. But what we should be doing, anyway, when we're there, and I've still got smudgy bloody glasses, really annoys me. Glasses are a pain in the arse. Spend the first 10 minutes of this talking about it. Okay, right, P-51. Really easy airplane startup. One of the, if not the first, of the World War II planes in the game. It is, as I said, a very easy startup. All the planes are easy startup. Not necessarily so easy to take off, although this is the easiest to take off. So I'll just go through the startup. So we switch on the generator over by the right thigh on this top row, and we switch on the battery. Okay. We're then going to turn around and look down to the left there. We've got the rudder, and we're going to bring, the flaps, and we're going to bring this up to the top. And just over there, we've got the carburetor air control. We're going to bring that forward. Right, because of the amount of torque, oops, losing my head, in this plane, we're going to move the rudder over to about 5 degrees. That's the aileron. This is the rudder. Okay. So round about 5 for now. If we look over here, we've got a couple of little toggles we've got to switch on. We've got the fuel booster, which is there, and just to the right underneath the green light we've got to switch on the magnetos, although it's called ignition here. We're going to switch the guns camera sight up to guns and camera sight. We're going to switch the fuel on. Okay, what else do we need to do? Oh, brilliant. That's excellent timing, isn't it? And I thought it might be somehow. Just bear with me, 2 ticks. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now, right, is we're going to press the primer up, open the starter, press the starter, and as soon as the engine starts, we're going to move this down. Before we do that, we're going to move this forward. Okay, we're going to move this one, which is the RPM, all the way forward, pull this one back, and then forward a little bit more. Okay, so now what we're going to do, as I said, is put the primer on for around about 4 or 5 seconds, depending on temperature. We're going to pull the brakes out, pull them all the way, press the brake pedals. Let me put this on. Press the brake pedals, let go of the brake pedals, let go of that, and it will stay out and it will stop you rolling forward. So we've done the primer, we're going to open the starter, and then we're going to lift the starter up and wait for the engine to catch. As soon as it catches, we're going to press this down 1 notch. Okay, there we go. That's why we got our brakes on, because when that kicks in and starts turning, what's going to happen is it's going to take off. Hey, Thunder Ace, you're right. Take it by that, everything's working there. Let me just switch over 2 ticks. Go back to there. Go to there. That's what we got. Go to there. There, make sure all that's working, which it is. Okay, so we're just letting this warm up a little bit. You may notice there's a red flag, and what we're going to do is leave that there until we're in the air. So this relies on the suction. You can see the suction's up there already. I tend to do it in the air. We're going to shut the canopy by rotating this knob, and then we're going to take off. Okay, so I'll switch my head tracking back on. Before we start moving, we're going to pull the stick back and relax it to the middle, and by doing that, that's going to lock the tail wheel into a 6-degree turn only. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit, switch the brake off just by pressing the brake. There we go. And then turn the rudder as much as you can. It will only go 6 degrees. As you can see, it's a really big turn. So I'm turning around to go onto this runway. There's nobody else on here. It's a little bit of grass here, so it might bobble a little bit as we go over. And it should end up somewhere around the middle or thereabouts. And then we just point it down there and increase the throttle. And once we get a bit of speed up, then we'll start to lift up. If it starts to drift over the runway, you can use your rudder to steer it down the runway. Try and keep to the centre, it makes it quite easy. If you look on the right hand side, if you're not sure, it shows you how much RPM to be using, and also manifold pressure. So that's your throttle basically, and that's the RPM. So takeoff, you can put them more or less all up full. We're going to do that now. I'm going to try and keep this in the middle. And then once we're up to speed, I'm going to nudge the nose down a little bit, bring it up onto 2 wheels, and then just gently lift up. And that's it. Press G for gear. Once we're up in the air, we're going to start bringing the throttle and the RPM down. We can see the gauges on the right. This one there on the lower right is the RPM, and the one further up is the throttle. Okay, and we're at the top of the scale there where it wants at the moment, roundabout. And then once we're here, we can reset the rudder by hitting the reset button or turning it back, and then we need to just trim the aircraft so that it flies nice and level. It's a very easy one to fly compared to the others, quite easy to take off. Hey Barbie. The VRS will come later, on a different day, maybe in a different year, not really sure. So that's about it, and that's flying. So now when it's nice and level, we can uncage the artificial horizon and basically use it as a guide to see what we're doing, although with these things it is more or less pretty visual. How are you, Barbie? And there we go. Now I know where the Germans are. They're in Germany. You can see with these as well, you're also going to have to apply a little bit of rudder to make sure you've got a coordinated turn, otherwise you start slipping. And when you start slipping, you're going to start losing power, which is not what you want to do when you're trying to shoot the enemy down. So I'm also going to climb a little bit as we go. Don't want to go too much. This particular aircraft can go quite high. It can't climb up vertically like the BF 109 can. And that's how easy it is. So if anybody wants to join in who's watching. Yeah, fine, Lisa's working. So I'll have to stop at about 7:30 and go and pick her up, which you'll hear the alarm clock go. Oh yeah, no worries. If you've got YouTube and a 4K TV, you'll see it in 4K, but the delay's even longer. So I remember when we first started doing this, we just got the usual clouds, and the clouds were client side. What that means is that the clouds on each person's machine was different for everybody. So you think you're going and hiding in a cloud, and in reality you're not if they haven't got clouds. Whereas now the cloud should be the same for everybody. And on saying that, I'll fly up a little bit or climb, add a bit more throttle, keeping an eye on the speed. Ideally cruising is about 250, which is at about 6 o'clock on the speedometer. I don't think anyone else is on, there's only me. So I should be able to drink a cup of tea and fly. We've got a mirror as well, so we can see what's behind us. And if I lift up in my seat, you'll see me. I've got a twin that flies these as well. Right, let's get my cup of tea. Fly with my left hand for a bit, being as we're just going up, it should be reasonably okay. We're coming up to 2,500 feet. Oh, thank you, you're so sweet. The Germans, the German planes are situated over to the right. We haven't got there yet, but we will do. It's about 10 to 12 mile away. And this has got machine guns on its wings. And this is the same for Star Citizen as well. When you fire these guns, okay, you see they cross over in front of you. Can you see that? Ideally, you want to put the plane that you're shooting at the point where those cross over, and that's called the convergence point. In IL-2 or IL-2 1946, that used to be adjustable, which was really good. I always used to want it closer because I like flying close. Unfortunately, you can't change your convergence on these, which seems really odd to me. You can't change it in flight. You'd have to do it when it was on the ground or get the engineers to change it, but you can't change it in the air. So you have to fly at round about 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards is 3,000 feet, and a yard is 39 inches, a metre is 36 inches. So you'll have to do the maths yourself. This is one of our little markers over there. This is the cones, and then we've got Old Town, and this is where the Germans are. There are rules that should, he said, be popping up every so often on the top right, telling people not to vulture. Vulturing is when you see people taking off and you basically dive down and shoot them before they can take off. That's not allowed. Conversely, there we go, there's the message. When you're coming into land, you're fair game until your wheels touch the floor. But this is open. Password today is XMAS in lowercase. Now I'm not going to sing it, if you're wondering. And that's about it. Keeping an eye on the temperatures. Just backed off a little bit on my manifold pressure. I can see the temperatures getting a little bit high there. I'm just going to drop it down a little bit more. Everything else seems to be okay. Might drop the RPM down a little bit as well, and then the temperatures will start dropping. This is where the Germans, it's like a minute delay. The Germans hold out up here. That's interesting. I'm sure there was some flak going on. The dynamics of the map are a little bit different now because of the cloud. So as you can see, there's little patches of light bursting through the clouds. Oh yeah, there's the flak. So it does make it a little bit darker at times. Anyone got any questions about this? It's really easy to fly, and once your gun's switched on, you just pull the trigger and shoot. I always use the circular targeting in there. It does have something called, is it KF41, KF14, which will calculate the lead angle for when you're shooting shit. But I prefer shooting when I'm in plane as distinct from snapshot. So I try and fly in plane with the thing I'm shooting at. Now we'll do this for a few days. I've got visitors on Boxing Day. Server will be open. Well, open to people who know what the password is, which means you lot who are watching. If you want to try this and you've not flown the plane before, you can go and get the free trial version. It is allowed on the server, and just try it out. Take off, tell people that you're fairly new, and they'll give you a chance. They're not going to shoot you down, just give you a bit of a wide berth. Map's looking quite nice today, I must admit. It's looking quite smooth as well. Is my Twitch working in 2K now today? I did switch it over from Star Citizen, which I don't want it in 2K because it uses my card. Now bear in mind I haven't got any hands on this at all. And have I got my gear out still? Oh my goodness me, look at that. Did pull that up. I bet it's stuck now. Oh no, that surprises me. Now it's suddenly going up now, look. What sort of plonker flies around with his gear out? So I've just got to dip the nose a little bit with a trimmer. Whenever you adjust the trim, it's always good to give your stick a waggle, just to make sure it's trimmed, and then let go and see if it goes straight. If it keeps going up and pointing up, then you need to drop the nose down a little bit more. Anybody got any questions? I know there's only 5 of you on. A lot of people will be busy today. It's Christmas Eve. It is climbing a little bit. You can trim it out until this is horizontal, and it's a bit of a balance. Hey, Have you been out with tonight, matey? Seen Star Citizen this morning. Oh man. Ah, right. The yeah, it's after this patch they just dropped. It's not brilliant. It looks nice. Oh, right. Are you there at the moment? Or are you back at home now? Ah, right. It's a bit of an early one, isn't it? Mind you, at work, they went out. I don't know how many of them, not loads. Ah, right, okay. And they did some sort of spin the wheelie raffle thing as well. And each person, they'd basically have a randomizer that pulled your name. Then you could spin the wheel, and then it was whatever prize you got. And I think I was probably one of the 3 last ones to do it, except I didn't do it. I wasn't interested. You should have seen the faces. It was a shame, but hey. Right, okay, there's the airbase we're going to land at. So landing is a little bit more difficult than taking off. It is looking nice, I must admit. Mind you, I always say that when I fly these. It's very crisp, very clear. And this is Normandy too, by the way, and it does look very good. Right, I'm going to start slowing down. And I've got to lose the speed, I've got to lose the altitude. We're up at around about 5,000, just over 5,000 feet. It never actually feels like it. It always feels a lot less than you think you are. I'm just going to extend down here. Can't put the... does it tell you on the side? Let's see about what speed you can put your legs out at. And remember that because we're coming down, we're also going to be building up speed as well. You can hear it doing a little bit of spluttering there because the throttle's down. Can't see the flames on the engine today, but there you go. So we're going to try and land there. So once we get far enough away, we can kill the speed quite easily. You can see we're coming down quite quick. We're still maintaining 250.
Said in front of you on the instrument panel.
Yeah. What about it? Which bit? Okay, that's where we're going to be landing. See that runway there? So this hopefully will provide a couple of S's. So that will slow me down quite a lot.
speed, etc.
Oh, is that where it is? Just underneath. I'm pulling a bit of turning there, dropping the speed. Rolling out a little bit fast. It's come down quite a lot. Now we've got to drop the speed. A little bit fast. Might just overshoot just a touch. Oh no, we might slow down by then. I'll drop the gear out soon and that's going to make a difference. Also going to drop the flaps. Still haven't pushed the engine up yet, it's just going up now.
McLaren said, no pressure.
There's no pressure. Just lift the nose up a little bit. Start flaring. Skip over the trees if you can. Keep pulling the nose up. A little bit hard. Okay, holding the stick back and you can hear clacking. That's me pumping the brakes left, right, left, right, left, right, which will speed up the braking, cadence braking. See, no pressure. That's quite relatively short. Surprisingly nice the word is, I think, to be fair. Right, now if I put the pedal left rudder and give the throttle a tap, look, put the brake on at the same time, I can actually get this to turn round quick on the spot, and then when it's straight again, then we can then pull the stick back and lock the tail wheel to the 6 degrees that we did when we started. Anybody got any questions? It's all very quiet. So everybody who's watching, the people who fly with me, so I'm basically teaching the people who fly with me anyway how to fly something they already know. It'd be good if somebody like Frosty appears as well at some point. He usually comes and joins in this. And there's a couple of others as well. So that was quite a short landing, as I said, using the brakes, alternate sides, but you do have to be really careful. It's a very easy plane to tip over. And I haven't flown this for yonks, but it's just a plane, I guess, once you get used to it. So that's a nice easy plane to jump in and take off. I tend to be in the BF-109, which is the German one. Is it the Curvurst? It's some sort of sausage name or something like that. So just pop it over here, and this will go back into stores, which is excellent if you've got limited number of planes. Just being careful there that it doesn't tip over. As I said, it is very easy to do. Right, that needs to go back up, and it should stop in a couple of ticks, I think. Switch this off, this always helps. And switch these back down. There we go. So that literally is how to take off and fly. I forgot to tidy the aircraft up. but never mind, you can't do anything at the moment till the engine's running. So the other one, if I go and change sides, is the BF109. And the BF109 is a little harder to take off because of the amount of torque. Right, so this thing, if you click it, is your viewing sight, and we can take that down. And again, it's very easy to press buttons. There's a couple of things you've got to watch that don't catch you out. Let's see where we are. Okay, that's the runway. It's quite easy, relatively speaking. There's no wind today, which is a bit rare for me. I was being kind. Right, okay. So over here is a whole series of buttons. So the red one is to switch something off. The big black one is to switch it on. And on the left hand side, there's very little you've got to do. There's a button just sticking out up here we need to switch on, okay, which is your generator, as you can see. So if you get it from this side, there we go. This flare gun works and is quite useful sometimes, but you can switch it off within the settings. As you come down the buttons and hover over them, it'll show you the labels. Windscreen heating on we'll leave on, but the only other one we need really is the bottom one here. Okay, that's the ignition. These are things like wing, bombs, your lights, etc. And these ones all go on, okay? So you've got the battery and then a couple of radios and then a fuel pump, which is the bottom one. The other thing is, because this gets hot really quick, you need to open the radiator to off, okay? So that will stay open. We click on here, which is the oxygen flow. And you'll see that will go up, and then this will start switching over. These are your radios. Over on the left hand side, we've got elevators, and we're going to move this to about 1.5. So we're just pushing. You can push the wheel down, but I've got this bound, so it's going to about 1.5. Okay, we're going to push the throttle forward and put the fuel pumps on. And the most important switch is this. By default, it's forward. This is the governor. If you do not switch this on, just as you're taking off, your propeller will cease. So what this does is it manages the RPM for you and adjusts the RPM depending on the demands that you put in on the plane. So we switch that on. We're going to pull this back and leave it round about there. Over here we've got the magnetos, just the same as in the other one. We're going to put these on all the way up to M1 and 2. I'm going to switch the MW50, which is the top one, I think. So the MW50 boost, right, we're going to switch. Just one moment. Hey, cock. Yes.
Brave man, very brave hacker.
So now what it was when I first met Lisa, right, a long time ago, I told her that her eyes reminded me of the dog's eyes. You know, you have chat up lines. I don't. Okay. And she said, are you saying I'm a dog? And I say, no, you're not a dog. And then she has a habit with me, because, as everybody else does, of deep sighing, especially some of the things I say and do. So you hear her go, right? And I went, our dog used to do that. And she'd go, are you calling me a dog again? And I was going, no. And then when she saw my sister-in-law, she said, yeah, that's exactly what the dog did. And the dog did have brown eyes too. So, you know. So when I got that phone and there was a barking dog ringtone, it was a must, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So that's where that comes from. Anyway. MW50, right? Methanol water mix. So some planes had a sort of fuel injector. This is the BF109's fuel injection. You push the throttle a little bit further, you'll see this black needle go shooting up in between these two gauges, and it's got a limited amount. So it has its normal fuel tank and a tiny weeny one with methanol water in it. So obviously when you push that up, this thing will move like shit off a shovel, trust me. You know, the Spitfires can't keep up with it when it goes. The Spitfire will outturn it, but this will outrun it, no problem at all, and it will go much faster. It will also cause Spitfires, and sometimes the P51, you can more or less go in a vertical climb if you've got the speed, if you've got the energy. And when you all drop, they just drop in a puff of sort of fuely, gassy smoke, if they follow you. I'm also going to switch on, this is the weapons, and I'll switch it on here, so this thing's all ready to go, okay? There's also a little serrated thing there where I can switch on the artificial horizon. Okay, this requires you to speak to the ground crew, and what you have to ask them is to start the inertial starter. So there's a flywheel, and I think on this, I can't remember if it's external, I think it's external. So they start a flywheel going, right, spinning, and then you engage the engine and it starts. So you have to listen out for the call outs, and then you press the engine, or you pull the engine starter and keep it pulled till it starts. I'll show you what I mean. So once I ask them to do it, you'll hear a whirring in the background, and then I'm going to lift up this little flap over on the left, and then I'm going to pull this lever here. Okay, that's the starter. So you're going to pull it and hold it out until it starts. And it looks like it's not going to start, but just be patient. It usually does, unless I've missed something out. I'm going to put my brakes on to stop me rolling forward. We'll put the axis on here. And now we'll ask the ground crew. Run inertial starter. And you should hear it in the background.
Run the starter. Copy.
They will shout when it's ready to go. You should hear that.
Clear.
Okay. As soon as it catches, I just give it a little bit more throttle and then back off. You have to let these things warm up a tad. What was I going to say? Yeah, when you watch the propeller, it looks like it's going to start and then slows down. Keep holding the button out and it will start, okay? There's a handle here, just click on it, it shuts the cockpit. Underneath here is a wheel lock. So again, this is an ass dragger. So it's got a tail wheel at the back. If you don't lock it, when this thing turns, it'll turn on a sixpence. I know some of you won't know what that is. Turn on a dime or whatever you want. So what I'm going to do is leave it unlocked at the moment, and I'm just going to move forward a little bit, put the brake on, and you'll see what I mean. Come on. It's going that way. That's because of the torque. And there is an awful lot of torque, which is what makes this thing difficult. So what I'm going to do is lock it now. If I can remember what the lock is, I'll do it manually. So the tail wheel's locked straight. So now I'm going to make it turn, right, just by applying a little bit of brake and a little bit of rudder at the same time. And the reason why this is quite difficult is when you start to speed up, what will happen is the more the engine kicks in, the more torque is generated and it wants to go left. So what you need to do is, as you're going down, you need to tap your right pedal like this, okay? And it will keep it down the middle. And then when you take off, you want to keep it reasonably flat. It takes a bit longer to build up a head of steam, right? So build this up, you can see it going left, look. Keep correcting. Keep correcting. Right, you'll find the tail will lift up soon. There it is. A bit more throttle. And then just gently ease it back, but try and keep it flat, which is what I just did there. Press G. Oh, watch the tree. Okay. Now, if you haven't pressed that little switch back, by now the engine will cease, and it happens to everybody. So it's not just you. So it's something that happens to us all. And now I can start a nice easy turn, speeding up a little bit on the way, and as I'm turning I'm gaining height, which is what you need to do. This thing is a boom and zoomer. It works on speed and energy. It's not going to outturn Spitfires, so what you want to do is drop down on them. Typically you'd work together in pairs in communication. Somebody would become the bait and wait till they've got somebody on the tail and then call it in, and while they're on the tail they'd keep speeding up because they can outrun the planes, and then someone just drops down on the plane behind. Now that sounds all well and good, and as anyone who's seen us do this any other year will attest to, there's been some perfect boom and zoom manoeuvres where you drop down out the sky, shoot the shit out of the following plane, only to discover, right, that you've just blown up your own plane. And it's very, very easy to do in this, to be honest. It's quite difficult to recognise in quite a lot of cases. The Spitfire is an easy one, but the Fokker Wolves and the P-51s are quite difficult, so communication is key. But once we get up a little bit of height, we're coming up to 1,500 metres. You can easily fly 3,000 metres, and if you look out the window you'll still see planes. When they're over the water you'll see bullets shooting. So what you do is run down the coast and keep your eyes out the window. You've got enough frame here, look, to tell whether you're climbing, turning or whatever, just looking out the window. And it's something, if you want to fly these, you really need to practice not looking where you're going. When you're ready to fight, you just lift the oh, what was the button I had now? That one. Right, you lift the sight up. Unlike the other plane, You don't have to worry about convergence. The bullets come out of, there's a machine gun on the top there which goes through the propeller. We couldn't do it in the UK, the Germans could. And there's a cannon comes out the centre, so you don't have to worry. The other thing I forgot is I meant to turn this to auto, right, once we're in the air. It creates drag and it will keep the temperature where it needs to be automatically. We're losing a little bit of climb now, so I'm just going to push my nose down, continue the turn, and we're at 3,000 metres. Doesn't feel like it, as I said. So this is where then I'd turn round and then go down the coast, making calls to the others on what I can and can't see. Looks like we've got a little bit of rain, or is it the electric heating in the glass windows? Yeah, it will be a little bit of rain. I think I purposely did the clouds at about 3,000 metres so that we weren't too high for some of the other planes. So if you want to join in, when I say join in, I'm flying here by myself. If anybody wants to join in and have a go, whether you've flown these before or not, I wouldn't worry about it. If you just want to try it for the first time, it's absolutely brilliant fun. It really is. You can see the speeds going now as I'm dropping a bit. If we push the nose down, one of the things these are very good at is building up a head of steam. You'd come down, shoot somebody, and then go back up. So we're up over 700k. If you go too fast, you will lose the ability to pull back on the stick. Now that big noise you heard is the methanol water mix kicking in. But you can see I can go up quite steep. And then back off a little bit. Level out, and I'm already back at 2,000 metres or so. The cannon needs charging first, so on the side here, oh there it is, there's a little switch and you squeeze that. Okay, when you fire you've got to take the safety off, which I think is that. And then the first part of the squeeze is your main gun, which we'll see in a minute. That's the machine gun going through the blades. Okay. And then if you squeeze a bit more, you can hear a bigger bang, which is the cannon shooting through the middle there, look. Bear in mind there's a sale on at the moment. These things might cost you 25 quid, $25 or whatever. And whilst I know that, you know, there's not loads and loads of places do the World War II stuff, they are really good little planes to have. And it's you flying it, so unlike some of the more modern planes which have got a lot of systems in, it's down to you. The audio, the sound off them is brilliant, and the Spits and the P-51s, you have this quite long growling going on after, but it is very good. So if anyone wants to come in, the password on the server today, and I think it's called no, it's still called Mail Server, isn't it? I didn't change the name. The password is XMAS lowercase. So you've got Fokker Wolves, both variations, the Anthony and the Derrick. You've got the BF-109, you've got the P-51, P-47, Spitfire, Clipwing and normal, and you've also got the Clown plane. I haven't flown that for ages. I can't remember how to fly it. It looks like a clown plane, but it's absolutely devastating in the right hands for taking out BF 109s. It's a Russian tiny little plane. So if nobody joins in, there's just me flying, which I don't mind. So this is the enemy base where the P-51 took off from. Got no takers, no one interested. If you haven't got these planes, you don't have to buy them. You can go and download them for free using the free trial that you get with DCS. And the map is Normandy 2, so you'd need to get that as well, and it'll give you enough time to be able to have a play. Come and join us, learn how to fly them, maybe take part in a bit of fighting. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I forgot that was on. That's really old. BVAR gaming doesn't exist, and I don't stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mind you, I might do. I might do soon. Go back to the old days. Right, landing this is a little bit more interesting. There's the base there. But as you can see, this is going incredibly quick. So I'll land going out to sea. Just got to kill the speed first. Well, when I say I'll land, I'll try and land. As soon as you fly low down, especially if you're in one of the other fighters, you disappear so quick. People just can't see you at all. Of course, I've just looked away. There's the base. It is a really nice map, to be honest. Oh, there's an explosion over there. I don't know what that is. Wheels down. Can't remember what the flaps are on this. Do quite a flat landing. A little bit steep. Flatten this out in a minute. Bounced. Probably broken the wheels as well. I've broken the undercarriage. Yeah, it looks like I've bent one. It is coming a little bit quicker. A little bit flatter. Have I bent one? Looks like it, doesn't it? No. Well, that was lucky. It's 2 out of 2 landings as well. So, anyone coming in? Not sure who blew up. And if you've never flown these before, don't worry. It's a good time to learn. We've had so many people learn just by doing this. I mean, it is really good fun. And if you are new to them, we'll help you out. When I say we, I mean me. There's no one else on at the moment. Oh, my flaps are down. Oh, that was my flaps, okay. I wasn't sure. Anyone got any questions? Try the Spitfire next. That'll be a bit more interesting. I used to fly it a lot, but then, you know, most people will fly on the Brit side, so I tend to go on the Germans, and you get used to the plane that you fly, don't you? Like everything else. Need to open the radiator because we're on the floor. Stop it overheating, which it will do really quick, and it'll just throw loads of steam and smoke out the engine. Damage models are really good as well. So anyone want to come in? Password is XMAS. If you don't have the planes, and it's the World War II planes basically, go and get the free trial versions, and you're more than welcome to come in and we'll try and help you out. This is because, by the way, well, the other half's working. I've only got about another hour and I have to go and pick her up. And she's working today, tomorrow, Boxing Day, but she's got Saturday off. Yeah. And we're going to have our Christmas dinner possibly Sunday, not sure yet. We're out for something to eat on Saturday night with somebody as well. So, I think my stream will have to be a little bit shorter and finish at 1 o'clock. It's very quiet, by the way. I know there's only 13 people watching, but it is quiet. I'll probably send you all to sleep. I can't even have a drink either because I've got to pick her up each night and drop her off the next day. That's a pain in the ass, isn't it? Still. Okay, so engine stop is this lever up. That will kill the engine. And then it'll be ready to start up again. Anyone got any questions on that? Oh, that's the BF109. Right. Spitfire. Does anyone remember how to start a Spitfire? I know the clown car I can't do. Or clown plane. Was there only 2 planes then on the other side? Have I got my own plane here? I might do. Kev, no. Even Stingy's got his own plane, look. Right, so start off in the normal spit, which is going to be, I can't even see it at the moment. Oh, I see. Right, this is the Spitfire. This is the hardest of the planes to taxi in. Where am I? Where's the runway? Okay, it's a good position to start with. Okay, so let's see if I can remember it. First of all, you've got to push your throttle forward. Okay, that brings all these lights on. And then we're going to put the magnetos on. We're going to, no, we won't do the nose bit yet. We are going to do this wobble pump. Sorry, fuel on first. And then do the wobble pump. And until that light goes off. I'm going to pull this and pump it about 5 times. And then lock it again. We're going to lift these 2 flaps up, which I think I've got a button for that. That's that. Yeah, that goes forward. That's the RPM. And then as before, we've got a button so that once we start, we press the button down and that lever on the left goes forward. So we press, we've got the brake on, there's only a brake on one side. We press these 2 buttons here and hopefully it starts up. A little bit too much throttle. And there should be little flames coming out the front. Yeah, you can just see them in the dark there. Again, let it warm up. I'm going to adjust the nose and dip the nose down until it's level. You can see that going down. Okay. I can't remember where we have to move the rudder. Where's the rudder? That's not it. That's that. Maybe I'll just turn it. I can't remember. I think we have to turn this. The rudder bit's vertical. And there's some things down here that I've got to try and remember what they are. Let's have a look. Radiator flaps open auto. Trouble is I don't know which way auto is. That way. And pitot heat. Don't touch that as far as I remember. Oh, fuel pump. Is it relay fuel pump for what? Don't know what that is exactly. Someone please put me right if you know. Right, this is the radio. You need to switch your radio on, usually onto A. It should be warmed up enough. Let's see if I can actually make it work. So you have to be really careful with the steering because it's so easy to tip it over. And it's a case of dabbing the brakes and then turning the rudder where you want, and don't forget to straighten up. Chances of me landing this, in fact taking off, will be pretty slim to be honest, but hey, they're all much of a muchness. They very similar sort of situation, but this is a little bit harder I think to keep down the centre of the runway, but you can sort of take off with it quite quick to be honest. That doesn't mean to say I will. When you shut the hood as well, or the cockpit lid, make sure you press the right thing, otherwise before you know where you are you're going to end up with the canopy flying off. Okay, right, so Little bit of revs. Start it up. Hold the stick back. Little bit of right pedal. Building up the thing. We're going off the runway by the looks of it. But we're up in the air. Not as controlled as the others, but we're up in the air. I think that's the gear coming up. Yeah. And you've also got to watch your fuel and your manifold pressure. One's going to be around about 27-ish, 25 maybe. And the other one, I can't remember where that's got to be. I think this is on 27. And that one needs to be around about 35 or so. I think that's about right. Okay. Now if I'm wrong, then I'm going to lose the plane, and I need to just trim this, get it nice and level, best as I can. There you go. As I said, it's quite growly. Okay, weapons. There's a little view sight just here. Need to switch this on. You can change the lines in there. The lines basically were adjusted depending on what you were firing at, which also told you the range as well. In the earlier Spitfires, the gap here was constant, and it would basically be between those two lines. If you had the wings of a BF 109, that told you what the distance was. I think it was something like, I can't remember now to be honest, but you could tell the angle off and everything just from looking at that. And then if the wing to wing was this big, I think that was 400 other way, that was 200 yards away, that will be 400 yards away. So you've got all that information just in this simple circle with a few lines. There's a safety. No, that's the visor. What's the safety? Is it that? No. Is it that? Yeah. There we go. Again, we've got cannons and guns on the wings, which means there's a level of convergence. So if we look up, you'll see where they meet. Maybe not. I've got no traces. Doesn't look like any traces, does it? Maybe that was the ammo type I should have picked. You can adjust for the wing size and the range here, look. So you've got wingtip to wingtip. You would put this on, and then how far away, and you can see the adjustment there, and that's what they'd be able to tell. So they'd be able to tell how far away they were from something by the wingtips. And you need to fly to your convergence as well. And again, I think this is fixed and there's no way of changing it. And that's the Spitfire, and that's it. Really good plane, really good module. In fact, they all are, to be honest. Scenery here is really gorgeous, isn't it? Really did a good job. Some birds down there. We've had some really good fights, but ideally you want sort of about 8. You can get away with 6, but you want about 8 to 12 people flying on this, to be honest. And it is great fun, because while you're chasing somebody, you've got somebody chasing you, and there's some old footage we got kicking around, and it's like a big conga line of planes. Each one's after the one in front without thinking about the one behind. Checking your 6 is quite easy. Obviously you've got a mirror, but what you would do is just turn look around behind you, pull, and you can see whether there's anyone behind you or not. So it's just a quick check of your 6, as long as you're not going to crash it. What speed are we doing? 240, okay. But this does turn much better than the BF109. So we'll be coming up to BF109. I'm not sure what it was that crashed earlier. Moo. Kill blue. Oh, AI. Oh, right, I see. Yeah, at a certain point there's 3 planes come over. And I've got to be careful now because I'm going to get shot by the flak. So we're coming up to Old Town. If I don't do something, I'll get shot on the way through. The server will be up over Christmas anyway, so if you want to jump on it, please feel free. The only thing is, as I said, don't shoot people who are just taking off. If you're aware there's people who are new, give them chance to take off and get up to speed for everybody, and don't just shoot people because they're new to it. A lot of people will end up crashing on takeoff anyway, to be honest. Here we go. If somebody's consistently doing it, whether they're somebody who comes to watch or not, when I ban somebody, they're just banned from everything ad nauseum, because there's no need for it. It was supposed to be encouraging people to fly, not scaring them off, do you know what I mean? So just be helpful. And it looks like there's nobody coming on at all today. When you do jump on the server, if you want to come on, but you don't want to do it while I'm streaming, that's fine. It will go dark and you're in a whole different world then. World War II and dark is a different thing. It's quite a bit of glare, as you can see in the cockpit canopy. What are the chances of me landing? Right, again, landing, you have to be careful. You can't be quite so violent with the pedals as I was with the others. The runway is just down the back edge. Don't know what happened to Stinger. He did come on, and he was trying to get his new Quest 3 to work in DCS. DCS in VR is absolutely amazing. It's no good for streaming in, but from a personal point of view, if you have got access to VR, it is absolutely amazing. Hey, thank you very much. Can't quite read what your name is there, but yeah, it's appreciated, and have a Merry Christmas yourself. See you on YouTube. If you click the link, you could speak on Twitch and it would read out what you've just said. Okay, so hopefully we'll come in and land. So the server's going to be open over Christmas to use for PvP if you want. I was just telling the person on YouTube. Hope you have a Merry Christmas as well, by the way. Can't see the runway here very well. There it is. If you go too slow, you're going to plop down like I don't know what. Put the gear down. Oh, That was a surprise. Obviously that's not my gear in this. What are my flaps? Maybe it's that. I don't want to go too slow, otherwise I'll just thud. This one doesn't feel as though it's gonna be as good as the other two, but never mind. Make sure you clear the trees, it's always a good start. So the server's called Mail Server. Password is lowercase XMAS. And if you want to jump on and give it a whirl, please feel free. If you get any problems with anyone, make a note of the in-game names, let me know. I'm happy to go and look at the footage. It's a bit, yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. Little bit slow, little bit. Well, we've still got the wheels. That's the main thing. Oh, okay. See what I mean about the braking on this. That'll do. That'll do. It's come down. Just got a bit of work on the wheels to do, and maybe a propeller. Propeller's made of wood, as you can tell. Why that's broken, but other than that, that is textbook landing in a Spitfire. You can pop the canopy and jump out and walk away, which is always good, although he does always walk away on the wing, but he should be able to just jump off and then say it was nothing to do with me. Go on, jump off then. Great. Oh, there we go. So he can walk over there and none will be none the wiser. Right, anyone got any questions? Anyone even interested in World War II PVP? And if you've never done it before, I would suggest giving it a whirl, because it is quite good. Tigers Fighters, is that what it says? I can't read that name. Right, because if not, I can leave it there and that will give me time to have a cup of tea before I have to go out again. Right, thank you very much for watching. I will be streaming tomorrow during the day. The other half has to go to work at 1 o'clock, so I'll stream in the morning. I don't know what yet. Could be Star Citizen, and I'll do something when I come back as well. Right, let me go and find somebody. That's right.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for popping in. Merry Christmas to you. As I said, I'll probably stream tomorrow as well. Let's see who's streaming DCS at the moment. Not many viewers. Ah, Snake is on. Let's go and pass you over to Snake Venom again. He's on quite a lot, and he is learning quite a few different things, I think. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll pass you on as soon as it's ready, and I'll see some of you over the next few days. He's in the A10C, so it's always worth a watch, and thanks for the Merry Christmas, Levi. Cheers all, thanks and goodbye.
Ever adopted. Oh, Mel!
Right.
Mel 1 2 3 4 5.
See you all on YouTube. Thanks very much for watching.